Hey folks, Kevin here. Well, it's November 5th, 2024. We got a windy day today and I'm doing an outdoor project here. It's just after lunchtime. And we're out here in the basically our side yard. The coop and work area are over there. Pond 5 is behind us. And this is the northern part of our westernmost part of the property here. And this is our row of fig trees that we keep outside. Now we live in Oswego, New York. It's zone 5A, and the area where these fig trees are located, it's basically a living fence. There's a 6-foot drop off at this end of it, just a couple of foot drop off at that end. The property naturally slopes this way. I built up this years ago. There's curly willows, some maples, some oaks, and then comfrey on the base, all behind these fig trees. And I decided a few years ago to put these fig trees in, and then when it comes winter time, to protect them, I took some of our small hoops that we made out of 10-foot electric half-inch conduit, and we have paracord holding those together, and we'd prune all of the fig trees back, take the leaves that we get from our town or that we pick up around here, and we fill in all the voids around the amount of figs that are left there, the fig trees themselves, and then we put white plastic over the top of them and weigh it down. Well, it's too much for us to do at this point in time to go ahead and with both of us having injuries and all. Now both of us are doing much better right now, but it's a big deal to try, and especially in these windy days, to try and get this area covered up with plastic and all. So this year what I'm going to do is I'm just going to prune back the greenwood, and I'll go over that in a moment, and then just pile leaves on it. Now unfortunately, this is a real high wind zone. The winds come out of the northwest here, whip right across here, and so we'll lose a lot of those leaves, and I don't know if this is going to work. I may have to come up with a different plan in the future for maintaining some fig trees outdoors. And in case you don't know it, getting fresh figs off of a fig tree is so much better than any figs you're going to buy in a store. They're just amazing, so flavorful and so tender and delicious when they're just ripe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and remove any greenwood. Now greenwood is not lignified. Lignification is a process where the cell walls of the vascular system are reinforced by polymers that the plants create, and that strengthens the wood of the fig limbs as they grow. So we'll go over here now and take a look at some of these figs. So all of this greenwood right here, that is not lignified. The cell walls of this, when it gets down cold, are going to die pretty easily. A lot of this is really not going to survive. So I'll probably prune off a lot of the stuff that's coming out over here and all. And I'll probably prune this back pretty heavy, close to the top of this now that I'm looking at these. But you can see we've had the frost, and these are all died back. I was able to get a few of the figs off of it, but a lot of them are just too small and they didn't ripen because I didn't get enough prunings done during the season. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to prune everything back. I'm going to use my Kles High bypass pruners. And so down here, this is all lignified down here. This brown material, it isn't as flexible. So as I try to bend this, it doesn't bend very easy, where this greenwood, you see how easy it's flexible. So these cell walls what'll happen is, as the temperature drops and it gets below freezing, all that greenwood the cell walls are so fragile, there aren't enough polymers in it to strengthen the vascular system, and that vascular system will have water in it, and that will crystallize and freeze and damage all of the rest of the cell walls. So all the cell walls, all this green stuff, is just going to break down and then decompose. And so I'm going to chop and drop. I'm going to let the material that I chop off go right down here on the ground, right around the fig trees. And so we'll see how things work out. I hope I explained that well enough. The wind actually held off here. And we'll take what comes. After I get it pruned, I'll put some leaves on it and see how things work out. So I'm going to get started now.
It takes a little longer now to get things done. The days are shorter, but they used to run. I remember when I moved like the wind, but now I lean on time like an old friend. The years fly by faster than they used to. Each sunrise feels like a moment overdue. My body speaks in aches and sighs, reminding me of time gone by. There was a day when I'd never feel sore. Now these bones know every creak in the floor. Hands are steady, but they move slow. Strength's still there, but it takes more to show. The years fly by faster than they used to. Each sunrise feels like a moment overdue. My body speaks in aches and sighs, reminding me of time gone by. There was a day when I'd never feel sore. Now these bones know every creak in the floor. Hands are steady, but they move slow. Strength's still there, but it takes more to show. Every line on my face has a story to tell, of days I laughed, of nights I felt. I wouldn't trade a single one, even if these days take longer to get done. There's wisdom in the pace I keep, in the moments I hold, in the hours I reap. I know now that time's a friend and then thief, stealing my strength, but giving relief. The years fly by faster than they used to. Each sunrise feels like a moment overdue. My body speaks in aches and sighs, reminding me of time gone by. So here's to the slow, to the learned and true, to the quiet moments that break through. It takes a little longer, and that's just fine. These days are shorter, but they're all mine.
Okay, I got the bulk of the fig trees pruned, which turned out okay. Some look great. I do like them looking bushy in a sense. And so one of the next steps, I may come down with the flail mower, the Berta flail mower hooked up to the BCS tractor, and mulch up some of this material that I already chopped down. And then we can start piling the leaves on here when it's not windy. One of the things that I discovered today, the silk, the sap, the milky white sap, I started getting some burns on my arms with little drops were landing on them, and that's called phytophotodermatitis. Phytophotodermatitis. sun reactive, you know, the plant photo, so plant light activated dermatitis due to sorlin with a P-S-O-R-L-I-N, I think it is. And that compound can really cause some stinging and all, so in the sunlight. So I just discovered that. I've never had that happen before, but I was really chopping this down, trying to preserve as much of the nutrients from this that can get absorbed back into the ground. So by running the flail mower over this, I can chop it up even some more. And there was quite a bit of bindweed down here in this section here. So I have to pay close attention to that next year. But the fig trees themselves look absolutely great. And I left them a little bit extra bushy instead of pruning them back as much as I'd like them to be. Like this one here, I'd like to open up more for next year. But I thought that they might help to hold the leaves in place when we get the big winds out of the northwest over there. So that's it for today's video, folks. I'm going to go wash up so I don't get any more burns on my skin. And gotta say, I do love the fig trees. But the leaves and the mulching, that's going to come another time. Thanks so much for watching. Stay safe. Oh, there is an article on our website about, I think I posted it, about the fig trees and explaining some of the things that we talked about in the video today. And that's at mindfullivingsanctuary.com. Sorry about not remembering it until now. And all the ladybugs are out now. Thanks so much for watching. Stay safe and take care. Bye-bye now.